Hi guys. I don't know, I just feel so weird being on camera right now. I think it's because I haven't been on camera in a while and I'm having some issues and other things, and it's just weird times right now, people. We are living in some crazy times, and I know a lot of people are at home bored, going stir crazy. I thought it'd be really cool to give you guys some tips on how to learn a language for free. So I've had this idea for a really long time, and like I said, with all this coronavirus stuff going on, I know a lot of us are going to be, at home, sort of out of our routines, trying to figure out something to do. And at least for me, with my depression and anxiety, having goals, working on towards something really improves my mood. It makes me feel a lot more calm and just like a lot more ready to like face my life and just the day in general. I use these tips for French, but I honestly think that you could use this for any language that you want. There are a crap ton of language learning sites. Honestly, in my opinion, I think a lot of it's horseshit. At the end of the day, in order to learn a language, what you really need to do is you need to include it in your life. You need to be reading, writing, listening, watching at least 5, 15, 10 minutes a day. At least, I'm telling you, you will improve vastly so quickly doing that. So tip number 1 for me, most languages that I feel like people typically want to learn, you can find on Duolingo. I recommend Duolingo as the best language app. I've used Memories, I've used a couple others, but Duolingo is the only one that I've really stuck with. You do 5 minutes a day, like, you're gonna learn stuff. And we all laugh, and we all think, like, these sentences are so dumb. But, like, it's not about it's just learning the words, and it's just learning like the meaning behind the words, and that will stick with you. I'm telling you, like I'll do a Duolingo course, and then 2 days later I'll be listening to a song and I'll hear that word, and maybe I didn't understand those sentences before, but after hearing that word I'm like, oh, now I know what the sentence was saying, or oh, now I get it. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. And I know the thing about learning language is it's not, especially unless you do like immersion, and I have no expertise in that. I've never even been to France, okay? You have to do it every day, period. No matter what any app or any site, school, whatever you do to try to learn your language, you have to spend time with it every day. Moving on to my next tip, which is change your phone into your target language. I did that years ago, like maybe 3 years ago, and for a week it was a little bit of a challenge. But the thing is, even if you don't understand the word, your brain is still going to remember like where all of your app stuff is, where all the information is. This tip might not work well if you're learning a language with a different alphabet. Like, it completely, I think, just fast tracks you to fluency because you use your phone every day. So even if you don't do a Duolingo lesson, you're still going to see like French or German or Italian, whatever language you're learning, you're still going to see it because it's on your phone. And you use your phone every day. So you might not know that word right then and there, but eventually you're going to learn it. And even like, it's crazy, like even little alerts, learning the weather, and you're not even going to realize that you're learning. Like, I'm telling you, watch things, listen to things in your target language. You're not going to understand it at first. You're not going to understand everything they're saying, and that's completely fine, but over time you will. I did this, Netflix is a great tool to do this with, for shows. I know Hulu, I've heard also. So watching Netflix originals, you can actually watch in dubbed languages. Typically they have Spanish, French, those are the ones they usually always have. I've seen Italian, I've seen Korean, I've seen German for some shows. So it really depends on the show, but yeah, like not all shows have all of the languages you can dub them in, but doing that is so helpful. I've watched BoJack Horseman more in French than I have in English. And it's crazy because when I first started watching it in French, I couldn't understand everything, but because I knew the story, I was like, okay, well, I know what's going on. And then I would finish the whole show and I'd start over in French. And the first season, I remember the first episode, like, I understood everything the second time around, and I was like shook, because compared to the first time, I could barely keep up, you know. And that's also one of the biggest ways that I studied for my French language exam, the B1, was watching BoJack Horseman. Really, that's what I did a lot. I watch the news almost every day lately because of the coronavirus. Honestly, I can't watch it. It's just, that's all they talk about, like 24/7, and it's like too much information for me. It just gives me way too much anxiety. But watching stuff, listening to stuff, oh my god, if you like rock and you want to learn German, listen to German rock. If you are into pop and you want to learn Greek, look up Greek pop. Music is the easiest way to learn a language. And not just, I've even heard this for people learning English, where they're like, yeah, I'd watch this show, or I'd listen to this singer, and they taught me English. That's what I've done with French. I have been so lucky to find so many great francophone artists that I absolutely adore. And yeah, it takes time, but if you're really, I mean, above all, if you really want to learn a language, here's the truth. The only thing you need is passion. Not just passion to learn the language, but to learn about the culture, to learn about the world. Because if you don't have that, you're gonna get bored. Like with a lot of the other languages I've tried to learn besides French, because I wasn't really passionate about it, I eventually gave up. And that's like, you know what? Like, you can't fake the funk. If you want to learn a language but you're not really passionate about it, you're not gonna put the time to study. I'm just telling you that right now. But because I really love French and because I love speaking it so much, and because I want to be fluent so badly, I spend time with French almost every day, whether it's listening to music, watching the news, on my phone, tweeting in French, things like that. It's really important. Another app I'm going to recommend is Word Reference. Google Translate is... She does her best. She does what she can. Okay, but she's not it. Word Reference, on the other hand, at least for French, and for Spanish, I've used it for Spanish, and I think I've used it Italian, maybe Korean, maybe. But Word Reference is so much better because it gives you the like gender of the word in French. The words have genders, and a lot of other languages, and it's just so much like easier. And they even have like sometimes if you're looking up a slang word, they'll even like, you can click on it and it'll take you to like a form with more information. It's just so simple and so nice. And I really think it's a lot better than Google Translate. I think Google Translate, like I said, does its best. I use it in a pinch, but I always like to double check because sometimes it's not correct. But at least for me, French and focusing on learning it brightens my mood. It gives me passion. It's working towards something. It's just an amazing process, and you will feel like so proud of yourself. Like there are songs and artists that I've been listening to for years, music that I love, okay? And I'll listen to this song now and I'll go, oh, that's what they've been saying this entire time, and I'll understand it. Or like I discovered a couple of new French songs this week that I've never heard, and I was shocked because I was able to understand, like, maybe not the whole sentence, but words and things that they were saying, or I got the whole idea. And even now, like, pretty much when I read French, I can go sentence by sentence. There might be a word I don't understand, I'll look it up, but I can keep reading. And a year ago I couldn't do that. 2 months ago. Like, you'll just improve, and it's amazing, and you'll have so much pride and happiness. And I think a lot of us can use that right now because, like I said, it's a lot of unknowns, just a lot of fears. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys some tips. I have so many more video ideas. I know I always say this, and I know you guys probably like, no you don't, because you never film, but I really do. Sometimes it's just hard to like turn the camera on and like look at my face, and then after I'm done looking at my face, I have to edit it and look at my face for even longer, and it's just like, wow, I'm looking at my face. And so sometimes it's hard. I'm like, sorry. But also lately, like I said, I have been working on like a lot. I'm just adjusting because my leg fell asleep. Owie. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.